Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. I'm meant to be happy with the performance. I am happy with the performance. But the finishing in this team needs to improve. Individual players that are meant to be better than they are touted to be are not doing what we are asking them to do. Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount made the right decision for once in your life, or rip that shirt off and stop playing for this club. Mikhail Mudryk gives us something to hope for. Joao Felix will be back soon, and hopefully I don't need to see useless players in the final third. How many times did Kai Havertz have to set a player up for the player not to take his opportunity? How many times did Hakim Ziyech have to try to do something creative, only for Mount or Conor Gallagher to regress into their average bozo gene? How many times? Let's get into it. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly from the Chelsea versus Liverpool 0-0 draw, and that result helps nobody in the playing today. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys, and you know what it is. I am very frustrated because we should have won that game. Everything in that game illustrates that we're a good team, apart from the final details. And these final details are getting ironed out by our owner, our sporting director, and I hope by our manager. Because we are getting in talent, and we saw that talent by Mikhail Mudryk. We're seeing that talent with Badiashile, by the way. How sick was he today? And we're going to get into the positives. There are a lot to take away, but there are so many negatives that we need to talk about. And I'm very frustrated today because we should have won this game. And now we've got to the point where yesterday I said we need 14 to 15 wins. Well, you know what? In the last 19, now it's 14 to 15 from 18 games, because evidently Chelsea love to give points away. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram in the pinned comment and message me your thoughts during the game. I usually respond, or any questions that you guys have. But now let's get in. We're going to start with the good. And the good today was that was one heck of a performance from the boys. Today, Potter can come out and say the boys gave it their all. Today, Potter can come out and say we were the better team. Today, Potter should come out and say we were let down by the final third by key moments that did not articulate the way we wanted it to. Because today's performance had multiple opportunities created, control of the game in the first half and periods of the second half, ingenuity, individual brilliance, tactically developed, whether we're rotating from a 4 at the back to a 3 at the back, whether when Liverpool have balls in a certain area of the pitch, we go back into a 4 and then we go into a 3. Tactically, it was phenomenal. Potter got it spot on, and this is something that we're going to start seeing more and more as the season goes on. And the reason we're going to start seeing it is because we're going to have one game a week, meaning that he's got more time on the coaching ground, and meaning he can get to drill these players to play his style of play. The sad thing is we didn't take advantage. Another positive from this game, Mikhail Mudryk. Let's talk about Mudryk, because Mudryk came on and in literally 10 minutes after a loose touch illustrated why he is going to be an X-Factor player for us. That little bozo moment from Conor Gallagher, who we will get into, where he lost control of the ball, tripped over his own feet, and Mudryk gets the ball, 1 touch, 2 touch, and then opens it up. I was thinking, dink it, dink it. He took a shot, hit the side netting. Then he had another opportunity where he linked up with Chukwuemeka. Then he had another opportunity where he ripped James Milner apart. This guy's got pace. He's got a smart play of IQ. You can just see it. And more importantly, he's got the technique to try things in tight areas. This is exciting. I'm so happy we stole him off at Arsenal now. Especially purely, you get that feeling about him. He feels like a big game player. He feels like a player that's going to step up and be counted. Then we need to talk about the defense. Because the defense today gave us a structure to build on. The structure of Thiago Silva and Badiashile is beautiful to see. For anyone watching a partnership, that is a partnership. One's dropping off, one's coming to win the ball, one's running in behind, the other one's covering the space. Everything you want to see. Thiago Silva, 38 years old, he plays like he's 28 years old in the prime of his career. Nunes tried to catch him one-on-one couple times. Listen, small boy, I've got you. Don't worry. Experience shows him outside, makes it a tight angle, straight into Kepa's arms. Gakpo's still taking shots into Rosed. Literally, consistently under pressure. Now let's talk about my boy Badiashile. Badiashile was amazing. His ability to marshal that defense impose himself and win headers is phenomenal. Should have scored in the first half, in my opinion, with a great delivery from Hakim Ziyech. The header across goal. You need to be finishing that for me, Sonny Jim. But you are an amazing player. You are everything I am loving at this moment in time. And you know why? The passing out the back, phenomenal. Marshalling the striker around the gap, are telling him where to be, beautiful. Imposing and reading the game, mwah, he has been phenomenal. This is a signing I can be proud of. If we sign players like Carabao, people would be getting gassed right now, but Badiashile for 35 million has not put a foot wrong. Him and Thiago playing out the back have been amazing. Fofana is in trouble because I'm telling you now, he needs to break back into this team, and at this moment in time, I do not see Badiashile leaving this team. That's how good it is. Then we need to talk about Kai Havertz. A lot of you tell me, Alex, you're too biased when it comes to Kai Havertz. How good was Kai Havertz in that first half today? Scored a goal. The goal didn't count because it was offside. That's a stupid rule, by the way, you know, because if you ask me, and this is my opinion, if Thiago doesn't shoot, Kai Havertz is onside. The fact that Thiago takes a shot, it hits the post and Alisson doesn't touch it and comes back to Kai, Kai's offside. That's just not the offside decision, man. Like, it's such a stupid rule. I get it, by the letter of the rule, he's offside. Chelsea had a great start of 2 minutes, being up 1-0. The game could have gone completely different from that standpoint. But even then, Kai Havertz sets up Mason Mount. Mason Mount doesn't take a shot. Kai Havertz links up some play. Kai Havertz was literally, in my opinion, a glue to how good we were. And you noticed the minute Aubameyang came on instead of Kai Havertz, that link-up play disappeared. The game became stretched. We had to depend on individual brilliance instead of combining work. Nope. It doesn't happen. And finally, I want to give some credit to Cucurella. Cucurella today, whilst on the ball, little bit frustrating, dealt with Mo Salah perfectly. Kept Mo Salah in his back pocket. Told Mo Salah, listen, you're in my right pocket with my keys, my wallet, and my credit card. So stay in your lane. I've got this. Good battling, good clearances, left, right, and centre. And he just was composed. For his erratic nature in the way he runs around like scrapping you, let me get him, let me get him, let me get him. He done a very good job. And overall, Chelsea were very good. Yes, we weathered the storm, but you're going away to Anfield. This is Anfield. So mistakes will happen. The crowd will get into it. And the boys at Liverpool are going to want to win the game. But Chelsea done well, and Chelsea got a good point, but it should... The bad, and this is going to be annoying to talk about, because what really frustrates me about the bad is we're talking about the same things again. Lewis Hall today is a young player that got thrusted into a side, and he's expected to do a job. He's 18 years old. But I can't be here and criticize him and say he's not good enough, because it's not true. He is good enough. If he wasn't good enough, he wouldn't have started 4 Premier League games consistently against Manchester City, against Liverpool, and other games such as Crystal Palace. He's a good player. But today he had a stinker. And the reason he had a stinker was because, in my opinion, he's being asked to do a job that is above his pay grade at this moment in time. This job, where he has to receive the ball in tight areas, turn out and go and create attacks, at 18 years old is very difficult to do. You've got grown men on you, you need to ride challenges and you need to get in and out of it. Hopefully, he can learn how to do that, because he's so versatile, gives us another dimension, but today it just wasn't his day. Carney Chukwuemeka as well came on. Carney's a good player, but he needs to sort that decision making out. The number of times he just gets the ball, trips over his feet, gets the ball, doesn't take a shot off early. Carney, once he implements that into his game, with his ingenuity, with his IQ, because you can already see the way him and Mudryk were linking up. You could see Misha and him were literally coming up with a great rapport in front of our eyes. And Carney just does not execute the move at the end correctly. But once he does, we have got one heck of a player, peeps. Carney is a good player, but today he was bad. 2 players that really irritated me from a tactical standpoint, and this is, I like Conor Gallagher's energy. I really do. I think Conor Gallagher is a contagious player. I think Conor Gallagher is a very good player in transition, get him on the edge of stuff, he can have a pot shot, he can get goals from midfield, but his decision making is horrible. And his technical ability is even worse. In the first half, Badiashile and Thiago keeping the ball, and they're waiting for gaps to appear. They're going into Jorginho, they're coming back, and the reason they're doing that is because they want to pinch the ball through straight into Mount, straight into Connor, open, on a half turn, take it on the back foot and straight at the defense. It's what Joao Felix would do. It's what Mudryk would do. It's what good players do. Conor Gallagher can't do it. I've seen enough. I've seen enough 90-minute games. I've seen enough of a sample size to tell you he can't do it, and he's going to be costing us for the foreseeable future until he learns how to. Playing for Palace, you don't need to do that. Playing for Chelsea, you do need to do that. You play out the press. You don't play for the second balls. You play like the dominant team. And Mount, the exact same. And what really frustrates me is we can't build on our foundation of great playing out the back because the midfielders are letting us down. And that's what frustrates me. We're not beating the press. We're not coming out effectively. And when we do come out, we've got bozo jeans in the middle all over the place. Really annoying to see. Very annoying. The amount of times Hakim Ziyech tried to link up with players and they just can't do it because they're just not on the same level with him. Like, he's got putting in great crosses, great 1-2s, and they're just not reading it. So annoying. And finally, the downright ugly. The downright ugly is the fact that we're going to be 12 points potentially behind Newcastle at the end of this weekend. And that's not a pretty sight, nor is that a good place to be with 18 games left. Yes, it's a lot of points. Yes, Newcastle could fall off, but there's a lot of teams in between. A lot of teams in. So we're going to have to up our game. Hopefully we get Reece back. That will improve with our quality. And hopefully we get Ben Chilwell back. And hopefully we get other players back that will just enable us to develop some sort of grinding out results. Because at the moment we're not. And Mason Mount, finally. The number of times I've seen this player in the first half delegate responsibility to others when the right opportunity is for him to take a strike, when he has to release the ball. He grew into the game, but his performance in that first half was downright. I can't be too harsh because I don't think it's fair for me to pick on him, but I think he was poor today. And by his standards, by Mr. 300k or 200k, whatever he's asking for, this is the worst period of time for him to have gone into the result. But this was the Kavkas View. I hope you lot enjoyed it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts because it's a good performance, but a poor result. And I'm not here to be sitting and saying, you know what, we done well, like we're not a bad team. Because we're not a bad team. But at the same time, I expect wins. And we need to start getting some wins on our